Yo. All righty. We are live. Let's get it on. This is a weekend update. I usually spend Sunday reading New York Times. I'm in South Florida, so I read Miami Herald, Sun Sentinel. But, I usually start off with the New York Times. So welcome. It's Victor Arocho. It's all about money, valuable assets. When I say about money, it's how to have better control and use of your money, particularly in these difficult times and even in good times, so you could have a great retirement and pay less taxes and grow more than you're growing today. If you're looking to open your mind, look for a different way, check out my show. Please hit subscribe, like, get notified, and you'll see at least every Monday I am producing it, or I am putting out a show about the weekend news. And this one happens to be on company profits tell one side of a complicated story. Okay, great article. But I want to always tell you what I love this quote. And this is the most important for me because this is really what it's about for me deep down. And I learned it a long time ago. I mean, I learned it the hard way. I wish I would have learned it a long time ago. You probably hear me say it 50 million times, but it wouldn't be put me in a position to help as many people like yourself and my family and my children and my children's children if I already knew about it. And I may not be one practicing and teaching it and so forth. So I love this quote by Steve Farber: doing what you love in the service of people who love what you do. So one, I want to be in the service of people. That's what I love doing, helping other people and just hearing positive, great stuff from entrepreneurship, anything I could possibly do to contribute and learn, and in the service I do, and they love what I do. So hopefully you love what you can learn. Hopefully we can help you. And just, we got to get you out of the mindset of the everyday thinking of what society has been feeding us on personal finance. So this article was in the New York Times about company profits tell you one side of a complicated story. Article was pretty good, but for the most part, what I do is I go in and I try to like highlight particular areas of where you're going to see how the ability to utilize a cash flow insurance policies that are specially designed by people that have been trained, have been authorized, and are working with some of the top companies like Mass Mutual, Penn, Mutual. I mean, this is a whole bunch of companies out there, and just go look at the top 10 to do infinite banking. My job is to educate you. Hopefully, you like what I have to say. There's a lot of other people out there as well, and notify, subscribe, ask any questions, comments. I'll get back to everybody. I even got my numbers in there, so you can call me anytime. So I'm just going to start off with a couple of pieces that you can see how where I highlight. Now, I could have written these down, but I figured it would just be easier. Not done with inflation. Central banks, keyword banks. Remember, banks are one of the most profitable businesses in the world. Right? They take our money and lend it back out to us and to multiple people at the same time. Okay. Fighting inflation, central banks are expected to continue pushing up the cost of borrowing, which would make corporate investments more expensive and dampen the demand for companies' products, land and services. So just think about it. Big market for U.S. corporations could have a nightmare, a winter, if natural gas prices continue rising. But let's stay on the key piece. The central banks are expected to continue pushing up the cost of borrowing. Okay, so now who's in control of the money? The person who has the gold controls the game, right? Monopoly. Those who have the money controls the game. Well, if central banks are pushing up the cost of borrowing, who's controlling the money? And that's why I learned the concepts of infinite banking and being able to build assets and to control your own money, and to use your money as collateral to borrow at your terms, at your terms. Number one, it's not structured. That's what infinite banking is all about. So this is more of a discussion of how we can help you. So that's number one. Okay. So again, banks are controlling, pushing up the cost of borrowing. Well, why would you do that if you can build a policy of where you could continue overfund it, put that money in there, use it as collateral, and borrow against it at a fixed interest rate that is usually maybe 3, 4, tops 5%. And it's not going to keep going up. And the beauty about it is you don't have to pay it back if you have a bad month. You don't have to pay it back at all. All right. So then now you got another piece. The home building companies, for instance, have been able to sell homes at at ever higher prices over the past 2 years. But as the Fed has raised interest rates, that senior executive say demand has fallen. Okay, so a senior director is saying that companies they've been selling for the last years at higher prices, but over the past 2 years. But as the Fed raised interest rates, now they raised interest rates at 0.75 back to back, and that hasn't been done in I don't know how long in history. Okay, so now interest rates are rising, so that's dropping the prices of homes. It's making it harder to borrow. So again, now it's the banks, now it's the government, right? They're controlling taxes, okay, of which you got to pay. They're controlling interest rates. Okay, so you see that the more you're efficient with your money, the more you can take back control. The need to finance things in our lives is always going to be greater than the amount of money we can save. We're always going to be financing something one way or the other. And if you're not financing, then you're losing what we call lost opportunity, meaning money that you're paying cash, but if you had that money, you could have utilized it to get something to give you a return on that investment. All right. So now AT&T is talking about customers are taking 2 days longer on average to pay their bills, which caused a hit to the phone company's second quarter cash flow of almost $1 billion. Okay, so now they're paying it late. Well, what's the key word in there? It's cash flow. Cash flow. Think about it. Okay, again, I'm trying to give you the examples of how the personal finance, the way it's been taught, it's been taught poorly. They need to teach personal finance just like business finance. Right? This is finance. He's talking about cash flow, right? Well, he needs cash flow to invest in more products. He needs cash flow to do other things with the company. He needs cash flow to make his investors super happy. Well, you need cash flow. You need your business to run your company, your own personal asset, which is your family household, needs to run on cash flow. The cash flow coming in, cash flow going out. You want more cash flow coming in than it's going out. And you want to be able to create passive income cash flow that if you didn't have to work, if you didn't work, it pays for all your expenses and a life that you were happy with. Now you can live an extreme happy life, or you can live a life that you're happy with. Imagine you didn't have to work. I mean, that's what everyone thinks that's what you're doing for retirement. You end up downsizing and giving up things later in your life when you should be enjoying as much as you can. Okay, cash flow. So the key components I want to go out of here is from the weekend update is how central banks controlling interest rates, which are pushing up the cost of borrowing. Okay, the Fed is raising interest rates, right? So they're raising interest rates. They were for the banks to start charging based on how they want to charge on your credit and so forth. Okay, the housing market, right, is having a trouble selling houses, right, because of interest rates, and they're not making the profits. AT&T, a business, right, because they're 2 days late, is up to $1 billion for the quarter in cash flow. Now they'll make it up in the next quarter, but that quarter cash flow is gone. So they're looking at cash flow. Shouldn't you be looking at cash flow? Why do you think they went to payments? Why do you think they didn't let you buy your phones? They want to want to take your money. You know, I'm going to have an episode on wealth transfer. So wealth transfer means the money that you earn, the money that you have in your bank account, any money that you accumulate, someone is chasing it down. Meaning someone wants you to transfer your money to them by any means necessary, right? And whether you have money, you don't have money, whatever it is, they're trying to chase you down to be able to have your wealth come to them so they can make more money on it. Don't you forget that. And make sure you understand that. Okay, banks' earnings are a good place to get an early read on how consumers are faring. Overall, there are a few signs that right now, let's talk about right now, there are a few signs at lenders that borrowers are having trouble repaying their loans, and according to analysts. So borrowers having trouble repaying their loans. Why? Because they have to pay back the loan every single time. Banks will always take your money, but when you need it or you need help, unless the government stepped in like they did with COVID, they ain't gonna help you. I'm sorry, doesn't matter. Okay, that's why you gotta learn, making sure that you educate yourself. You know, the books out there, the Ant Asset, the Money Multiplier, the Godfather, Infinite Banking, Bank on Yourself by Nelson Nash. Educate yourself. Check out some more of my YouTube videos. Learn. I want to be in the service. I want to be happy to service the people that want to be helped. And I'm hoping that at least you're going to see these weekend updates, that every week there's going to be something in it that someone else is controlling the efficiency of how we're using our money. All right. I just got a couple more. Let's see what we got here. I don't want to go as long. All right. To the early quarter. Let's talk about Ally Bank and financing cars. That is becoming an issue. So as you can see, I mean, I can keep going on, right? Go check out one of my TikTok videos. You know, check me out on TikTok, Victor Arocho 83, and you're gonna see there's a saver, right? There's the debtor, and then there's a maximizer. Okay. If you're saving, you're putting in the bank, that means they're taking your wealth and they're lending it out, right? Okay. And you're not paying any interest, but someone else is using the interest when you're not gaining interest. A debtor is paying interest out to somebody else. Okay. So they're getting your money because you're borrowing to get what you want today. Okay. And they're making money. And a maximizer puts money away, particularly in a financial tool. And one of them happens to be infinite banking, a cash flow policy that gives you is protected, uninterrupted compound interest. That means there's no stopping and starting. I posted something today. The stocks for so far this year down 13 point something percent. Let's say 13%. So $100 went down to $87. You add inflation to it, drop another 9%, right? So just to say at $100 goes down 13%, you're at $87. To get back to that 100, it needs to grow 115% just to get back to that 100. That's a 28-point swing. Think about it. 30% down, 15% up, just to catch up. And then you'll never make that money back. Okay. So now that's my weekend report. You need to understand what's happening. Take back control of your money. Your need for financing is way greater than your need for saving. And, you know, like, hit me up, put a notification, ask a comment, ask a question. I'm here to help. There's no charges, just purely education. Remember, a cash flow policy, infinite banking is not an investment. It is a tool for you to leverage. So you have money that's consistently growing for you. You're able to use that, borrow that money, and not pay it back, but you pay it back in the manner that you want to pay it back, just in case you're having trouble. But you want to pay it back so you keep returning. The efficiency of money is how many times money can turn over. In business, think about it. They want to turn over inventory as many times as possible. You want to turn over your money as many times as possible in a safe, secure environment. We'll talk about the 16 principles of that. That is why it makes it a great tool to leverage your money, and why the wealthy have been using it for over 100 years. And hey, I'm on a mission. I'm part of a team. We want to ensure a million lives and have a million self banks going, multiple banks going for people like us, right? So we can maximize our money and not complain that the wealthy only get this. Tax breaks are only for the wealthiest because they utilize the tools that the government has given them. We can use those same tools. My name is Victor Arocho. This is Valuable Assets. Check me out every Monday. I'm always going to give you an update what's going on in the news. Every day, at least I have something posted on TikTok, something posted on Instagram, something posted on YouTube. Follow me, hit subscribe, hit notifications. I really appreciate it. And share this with somebody else. If we could just pass this on. You know, I put money, my tithing money, and I let it grow. Then I take my tithing money and I pay the church. And I don't pay the church. I donate to the church. So look, I can only share information, partake the information, but I truly, truly want to help as many people as I possibly can. I hope you're the next one. God bless. Have a great night. Hope your life is prosperous and you have a great, great retirement.